Space, the final frontier. This is the 2.5-year journey of the build of the Starship Enterprise. Hello, I'm Chris, this is Gross Models, and welcome to issue 2, issue 1, part 2. I don't know how I'm going to label these. The second part, the second component section of building Star Trek's Next Generation, the Enterprise D, the NCC 1701D. This is part work from Hero Collector, from Eagle Moss, and it's a little bit different to every other part work that I've done in that they supply you with one magazine per delivery rather than per issue. It's a nice meaty magazine, and we'll be going through the magazine in a little bit more detail after the build. But to begin with, I say stage 1 I've done. You should have seen that one yesterday. If you haven't, then it should still be up in the playlist. Rewind and watch that first, because that's the more overview of the entire build, and you can see me build this. This is the bridge and the second deck of the Enterprise, which we're not doing any more of today. That was the first issue, and this is the second issue. So for the stage 2 parts, we get this. This is again one of the meatier sections. It's one of the nacelles, or at least half of one of the nacelles. Again, you can see the subtle Aztec pattern on there, which I do really like. It's there, but it's not in your face there. Yeah, I do like it. It's done very well with that. So a big metal part. All of the exterior of this build is metal, as opposed to things like the Falcon and the X-Wing, where the exterior is plastic and it's got a metal frame. This one, I don't know, this seems to be, what does it say? It's O2H is the frame. It's a plastic frame with a metal exterior. I don't know. It's just a different way of doing it. But I do like the feel, the texture of the metal outside. So it's not all metal. This piece is plastic. But yeah, the majority of it is metallic. So, going through the parts, it lists them all quite nicely and gives all the part numbers and names. They are different enough that I don't need to refer back to this to do this. We've got 3 different types of screws. Again, we've got AP, AM, and BM. The M one's going to metal and the P going to plastic. It's quite easy to understand. Even I can understand it. So, that's what we're going to be doing. Now, the next page is the build that I did before, the stage 1 assembly. The stage 2 assembly only covers a couple of pages, so it should be a lot quicker. I know the last video was a lot longer than I intended it to be. I probably should have done an introductory video and then a build video, but I didn't, so there you go. Right, so step number A. We are taking the Bussard EM field projector, which is this orange bit, which I can't get out. There we go. And that is fitting into and around there. That's quite nice. I like that. It's a nice fit. It's not difficult. It's easy to do. We're sorted. There we go. It should be fitted with its striations flaring out towards the front. I didn't notice there was striations. Hang about. There we. Yes, we have a variation on that. So this has got flaring out towards the front. So, is that... what would you call flare? I think that's... one side is bigger than the other. That doesn't fit in there very well. So, yes, we've got it in the correct way around by chance the first time out. So, there we go. That goes in there. Next, at the other end, we're installing this little plastic nodule. Things are difficult to get out of these plastic trays. Right, is there anything special about that? You see, it has a flat side. Push the formation. This is, what is this? What does it call it? I don't remember. I have to go back to the other page, and I'm not going to do that. Push the formation light. There we go. Into the notch from the inside out. This part will only fit one way. Oh, yes, because you can see there's a D-shaped notch in there. So we've got to get that in there. Like so. That is... yes, it's a little light spot that comes out on the other side. So far, so good. Get that on there again because it fell out. There we go. Finally, Nest the field projector, which is the transparent piece. Inside of that, this part will securely be fixed in the next step. So we've got to have that way round. That'll only go in there one way, and then we'll be sure that we've got it in the correct way round on the next step. The next step being step B, where we place the upper frame, the big plastic bit, in on there. So that's going to go in that way up, I believe, because that's the way that's got. No, that's got to go that way because that's got to fit over the top of that, I think. Yeah, there we go. So that goes in there. That holds that in there, as it wouldn't if it was the other way round. So yeah, I'm happy with that. And we need some 8M screws for this, 9 of them. So where are we going with these? All the way around the edge. So 1 there, and then 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 up each side, and then 1 down the bottom there. So what we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1 spare by the looks of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 2 spare. That makes more sense. Quite a lot of them, so they're going to give you quite a few spare ones. I'll put that to one side to make sure I got these right again. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Yes. Using the screwdriver supplied with part 1, I shall get these in there. Now, I'm not going to bore you with putting in 9 screws identically, but I will remind you, it's always a good idea to put them in one at a time. Obviously, you can do them one at a time because, you know, one at a time is one at a time. But you're going to do them one at a time, but not tighten them down. You're just going to put them in to make sure everything lines up, and then you can go back and tighten them all up. So I'm just putting them in the various different places. And I shall cut the video and come back when I've put them all in place and we're on the next step, because you don't need to see me doing all that. Okay, I've got rid of the plastic, got these out, and I have, in fact, reversed this. It should be the other way around, because it actually gets narrower towards the end, not the middle. So although that's the bigger bit that didn't feel like it fitted in there properly, it does if you push it down just that little bit harder. So I've reversed that round, so that's actually correct now, I'm sure. So that's that. Now I've got to put the nacelle front, which is that bit. It goes on to there as well. So yeah, that wouldn't have fitted on the other way around. So that goes on there like that. And that is held in place with 3 more screws, BM screws. There we go. So let's get 3 of these out. Looks like there's 1 spare in there, which I shall keep and put into storage. Hopefully never be needed, but it's always good to have spares. Especially, you know, if you're inept, you might drop it like I probably will. Almost certainly will before the end of the build. Hopefully not this issue, though. I like to get a little bit into the issue before my ineptness comes to the front. So that's those 3 in there loosely, and then I can come back in and tighten them down. It has a build tip. It says the Bussard collector included with this issue is not needed during this stage. Keep it in a safe place with the rest of your build so that it can be used as instructed at a later stage. This often happens with Partworks. If you're new to Partworks, don't expect to always use everything that they supply you with. They sometimes, and quite often, will supply you with parts that you don't need until a later part of the build to get it supplied to you and ready, and to even things up a bit. So there's quite a lot in this build, but next week there might not be some. It might be just a little bit different. So that is obviously going to fit in there, but it can't fit in there yet because there's nothing to sort of hold it in place. So I shall probably put it with that for now, because it keeps everything out the way and tidy. But that's that. We're not doing that quite yet. And next up, we are taking the left and right grills of these, and they are going onto the left and right sides. Which one's that? Is that left or right? I think that's probably the other way. As these fit internally. Yeah, then the screw pieces will go down into there. So that's going to go that side. That is going to go that side. These are held in place again with AP screws, as is that on the back there with those 2 AP screws there. So I'm going to get all of these done and screwed in place, because again, it's just putting in screws into the screw holes. Nothing that I need to show on camera for you lot. I shall just get a selection of these out. As ever, I say, probably better to start in the middle rather than an end. But just get all the screws in and then go back and tighten them up. So I'm going to get one in each of the things. Just to make sure everything stays in place while I tidy everything else up. And down there. So there we go. Yeah, I've got multiples of these screws to put in. Then we'll see, that will be the end of the build. But I'll get these done and show you what it looks like at the end. There we have it, all tightened up except for the red bit, obviously, because it's not on there yet. This is the underside, I believe. And yeah, so that's ready for illumination at a later point. And yeah, all looking good. I'm happy with that so far. Obviously, we have the whole top section as well. So yeah, so far so good. Now, as I promised, I shall have a look through the magazine itself and we'll see what we got. Let's move everything out the way a little bit. So we've got just the magazine here. Yes, so we've got designing the D. No sniggering at the back. It's the Enterprise D. That's what they're talking about. They're not talking about anything else. It says, with the original Enterprise and big screen counterpart already instantly recognisable icons, took the design genius of Andrew Probert to create a new ship that could carry their legacy while blazing its own warp trail. It's so reminiscent. The pair of nacelles, the dish section, but a new design, but still an old design. It's very good. Obviously, these are prototype sketches of how it might have looked. All good. It looks very good. I'm going to be reading all of this. There's lots of information in here. Obviously, lots of sketches and things. They're getting very close. It's almost there, isn't it? I don't know if they reused any of these. These look a bit more like the E design, so they've obviously gone back to it. Yeah, there we go. Slightly the struts forward to unify the direction, give the overall design a feeling of aggressive forward movement, like a lunging cat. Yeah, little things that you don't think about, but you see, and it just works. So yeah, a little bit lunging forward. Fan artist to fan favourite. He's obviously started off doing fan stuff. Oh, he had a cameo in the first episode. There we go. Interesting enough. There he's sitting in the corner there. I never even would have known, but yeah. Building bridges. The Next Generation senior illustrator created the command hub. Very cool. I like the laid back couches that they use for the con. Oh, good. Interesting stuff. Didn't have stairs. They got rid of the stairs, but yeah. Nice. Lots of interesting stuff. It's from his 1986 diary. No more toggle switches. No, it's all touch screens, isn't it? Yep. Yeah, a lot of behind the scenes stuff and concept art. All very nice. Bridge and everything connected onto it. Captain's office. Turbo lifts all over the place. Officer's lounge. Yeah. There we go. Oh, Captain's office. And he's got the head in there. I didn't know they don't have toilets in anywhere else. If you need one, you probably just nip through the Captain's and use it there. It's fine. The Lost Generation. For a few weeks in the summer of 1986, Star Trek The Next Generation looked set to be the adventures of a cadet crew and their holographic former captain. That would be quite cool. Obviously it didn't happen, but that would have been quite interesting. That really would have been the Next Generation if it was a younger crew, and yeah. Nice. Fun stuff. Obviously the cast that didn't make it. Unnamed alien cadet. Yeah, there we go. And that is that. That's the end of the magazine. Now, as I say, for going forwards, I believe that the next one is obviously going to be number 2, but it's going to have parts 3, 4, 5, and 6, I believe. But it's probably going to be a month until I get these. As ever, when you start a new part work, deliveries can be upwards, downwards, sideways, and never entirely certain when you're going to get anything until it settles down into a more regular schedule. So hopefully, in about 3 or 4 weeks, I should be getting the next pack and continuing the build. I've got no idea what the next bit is. It doesn't give you a, next time on section. So yeah, I'm assuming that we're going to be finishing that, because I have seen other people that have been doing the build and are ahead of me that have got a completed nacelle. So yeah, there are some upgrades and modifications that people have been doing to them as well, I have noticed. I don't know as yet if I'm going to be doing anything or what I'm going to be doing, but until it starts to come together and all the lighting comes in, I don't really know. So bear with me. If I do need to do any, I shall let you know, obviously. But other than that, I hope you've enjoyed this start into the next build, the new generation, the next generation. And stick with me for more to come. There are other part works that I do on the channel. You'll be able to find them all. They've all got their own playlists. So hopefully you'll find something else to occupy your time until I come back and do the next issue of this. So thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Do let me know in the comments and leave a comment, and like and subscribe and stuff and things. And I shall see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.